turned on. So it's asking me to send a request. Okay, so let's see if I can see it now. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so I'm just going to go on the slideshow. From the beginning. So good morning, everyone. I'm not able to see everybody, Lemkhang, because it's quite a bit. So if you could just, at the background, if there's something, just stop me and tell me. But yeah, thank you everyone for attending. It's a great pleasure to do your webinar this morning. And today's webinar is on customer care. And as introduced, my name is Pauline Frederick. I work for Summit Education. And an hospitality expert. Thank you very much again. So let's get going. So if you could, in the chat, please introduce yourself. I see familiar faces in the group that have attended my previous session. Thank you for attending. So if you can quickly just tell me or put your name in the chat or tell me where you're from, because your names are indicated. Just tell me from which club you are from or which property you're from would be great. I'll give you about 2 minutes if you can quickly do that for us.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Ron Engelbrecht from the Kimley Golf Club.
Thank you. You're more than welcome to write in the chat if you don't want to open up your mic. That's okay with me.
Morning, everybody. My name is Valencia at Clovelly Country Club. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got Andy here at Clovelly as well.
Hi,
Thank
Andy.
you. Hi.
My name is all Pat here from Blue Valley.
Thank you. Thank
Morning,
you.
everyone. Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning. My name is Lawrence. I'm with Solio from Sorkop Country Club.
Thank you.
Morning, everyone. My name is John. I'm from Woodhill Estate.
Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Dean Levieux from the Country Club Johannesburg.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I see quite a few people wrote in the chat. Thank you very much for that. I'm muted. What's going on? Lebogang, am I muted?
No, you're not. You are audible.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. For those of you who didn't, please write in the chat. At least we know where you're from. Yeah, thank you so much. And for those who open their mic and that are brave, thank you. Okay, so a great quote. What is going on? Can you see my screen? Is it here? No.
Yes, you can see your screen.
All right. Okay. So I want to quickly tell you, or I want to quickly share with you the difference between a customer care and customer service. But one of the great things that I have come across is they say a great customer care isn't just about solving problems. It is about creating meaningful connections that lead a lasting impact. Very profound statement. And I quickly want to share with you, before I go into what is customer service and customer care, today's webinar is basically on these few outcomes: understanding your member needs, communication skills, handling difficult customers, service recovery, building member relationships, feedback and improvement, and emotional intelligence. It sounds like a lot. We have quite a bit to go through, but I'm going to try my best as possible to leave you with some type of skill at the end to be able to understand what customer care is. So welcome to the customer care webinar, designed specifically for staff interacting with customers or members. In this webinar, we'll be exploring some key principles of exceptional customer service or customer care, focusing on communication, problem solving, and exceeding guest expectations. Whether you work at a hotel, a restaurant, or any guest-oriented service, this training will equip you with the skills to create memorable and positive experiences for your guests. By the end of this course, I'm hoping you will understand how to handle various guest needs, address some concerns professionally, contribute to overall success of your organization by delivering top-notch service. Let's begin. So customer service versus customer care. So customer service, there's a difference between both of them. Customer service focuses on assisting customers with specific needs or issues, while customer care emphasizes building long-term relationships by showing empathy and concern for the overall experience. So our first topic is understanding your member needs. So you need to learn how to identify and understand your customer needs. Okay, you need to gain techniques for proactive listening and asking the right questions. So if you don't ask the right questions, you're not going to get what your customer needs. Okay, you need to explore strategies to align solution with customer expectations. What does this mean? Is that if a customer needs a specific thing, you need to find a way to actually give them this particular thing, because the industry that we're in is in a giving industry. The customers are always on the end of receiving, and we are not the one that's always receiving. So we have to constantly give. And the way we are able to give customers the best service possible is by basic listening, finding ways of actually being able to give them this type of care. So I want to quickly ask a question. In the chat, you have some choices, but I'm going to ask a question. What is the biggest challenge in understanding customer needs? So you have some choices here: lack of clarity, difficult customers, assumptions, or time constraints. You have four options to write in the chat, or any other one that you feel that is your biggest challenge for customer needs right now. I'm going to quickly go to my chat and see what's being written here. Assumptions. Yeah. Difficult customers. Yes. Ever increasing expectation on the same budget. Yep. That's always the case. The customer always wants, right? Time constraints and assumptions. Yes. Difficult customers always. Lack of clarity. Thank you, Leanne. Difficult customers. Yeah, there's a lot of difficult customers, right? Absolutely. I think, in the business that we're in, with what's happening with the world today is that money talks. So when there's a lot of money, people expect not just the value of the money, they expect more than that. But yeah, that's a whole other story for another day. Limited customer feedback. Okay. All right. Let's move along. So that's great. Yeah, lack of clarity. If we don't fully understand what our customer want, we're not going to be able to provide that. Your difficult customers are the people want more for the little money that they pay. Yeah, assumptions. That's a great one for a lot of failures. Thank you for that, everyone. Okay, so learning how to identify and understand your customer needs. the definition of a customer needs is what they explicitly state versus what they want. Okay, so a customer can say A, but they need B. Okay, I'm trying to think on the top of my head. I'm going to give you an hospitality one. So normally a customer will come, into an organization and they will expect, they'll book a room maybe online on booking.com, and then they will come into the organization not seeing that the room is just a room. You have to pay for the room, not a room and all the other services that goes with it. And that's where, the assumption comes in, of where customers understand the assumption. And then sometimes the customer, online will just say they just need a room. And then when they come to the organization, they expect much more, or they'll want, the breakfast, or they might want, services that's not included in the fee. So yeah, that is the one thing. Different types of needs: emotional, functional, social, aspirational. This is the thing. Someone with an emotional need might come in there because they need to relax, or someone's coming to work, which is functional. Social could be somebody coming to have, attending an event. But yeah, this is the thing. This is how we need to identify what our customers need in this way, and to find out what is it that they are coming there for. Why understanding the needs of the foundation of great service? The importance of this is that without understanding what your customer wants, you'll not be able to provide that service. And behind that is the care, and the care is that asking, finding out, probing the questions, and things like that, so that you can understand what is it they are there for. And I know in the club management, it might be as simple as they're playing golf or they're coming for some specific reason, but there's a whole lot of other things behind that type of service as well. So I have another activity here. A customer says, so this, I'm giving you a scenario. So a customer says they need faster service, but what might they want? What do you think they want? So I'd like you can still type, because I think there's a lot of people here for me to ask for you to say so. So if you can type in the chat box, just look at the scenario, right? A customer come to you and say, I need faster service. But what do you think in your mind they want? I know we're not mind readers, but I mean, I'm trying to see how you could read a customer. So if you could type in the chat box, I have 3 options for you. Do they need respect, efficiency, or feeling valued?
kwenzenjani ufuna ukuthini thetha nje yonke iphelele
Efficiency, absolutely. Efficiency. Part of it could be respect, feeling valued. Efficiency, knowing what they want before they. Absolutely. I like this one here. Feeling valued. They need efficiency. Ron, that's a question to ask. How do you satisfy impatient customers? Yeah, we have to have that conversation on another day. You have to have enough employees. Planning, feeling valued and efficient services, sense of urgency. Yes. How many of us has also walked into a place and we wanted service now? Sometimes we don't say, but we do say, and then, we still don't get it on the time that we need. Better communication, regular updates, and transparency, reduce wait times, quick resolution. Yeah, Corinne, I think, that comes with our management, where we have to find ways of seeing to them immediately. Sometimes it's not possible. It's not really possible, but we have to find a way to actually calm this customer down. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so the importance of listening beyond words, nonverbal cues, and tone of voice. The use of open-ended questions to uncover underlying needs, and the techniques to paraphrase when someone is confirm understanding. So what basically this is that you have to have some type of, so before, when the customer comes to you, it's technique for proactive listening. So you have to ask the right question, you got to listen, and you got to ask the right questions so that they can give you enough to understand where they're coming from. So also paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is repeating what they said. And I know sometimes we think, we do listen, we know what they want. I think when we paraphrase, they seem to listen to what they have said. And so they can confirm. So if you do paraphrase them, they will confirm what they have said. Or they might say, oh, no, that's not what I mean. I mean this. So I think paraphrasing is also one of the most important things when you are dealing with a customer. So can I ask for a volunteer who can play a customer with a concern? And I want to show you a little bit about the type of questions you could ask. So could I have for a volunteer in the audience who could role play with me, a customer with a concern? One of the concerns that you have. Anyone? It's not a trick. Come on, guys. I'm sure you have lots of customers with lots of concerns.
Well, I'm happy to. It's Paul here.
Okay. So think of any concern that your customer have, or any problem, or any request that they come with, and then just play that out for me, and then let me ask you the question, because I want to show you the type of things that you could, or type of questions that you could ask.
Yeah, I've been sitting here for 10 minutes and nobody served me yet.
So no, you've been sitting there for 10 minutes and nobody has served you yet. First, I'm going to greet you. Good morning, sir, and how are you? You're going to reply to my questions,
I'm a bit
right?
irritated. I've got places to go to.
Okay, my apologies for that. I apologize for the late service. Is there anything that I could assist you with?
Well, I need service.
Okay, so could I ask what type of service? Like, are you waiting to order your food, or are you waiting for a drink?
Well, I'd start with a drink and then food, but nobody's even acknowledged that I'm here.
Okay, so let me get you the menu, and again, I apologize for this. Could I then offer you something in the meantime, that while you're looking at the menu, and I could offer you a drink, and that would be in the house?
Yeah, make it a bottle of Moe.
Okay, that's not the way I'm going, but I seriously do apologize for this. So I will bring you the menu, you will look it over, and then I think, I would say to you, like, I think my next question would be, my apologies for delaying you. Could I understand, how long do you need, or can I ask, how long do you have, sitting here, or do you have an hour or half an hour? Because sometimes with members, they want to go play golf, or they have a tee off and things like that. I will try and probe into asking for how long we would be there, and then I'm going to recommend to you what you should take that will be quicker.
Yeah, I think the reality for a lot of us is that the customers must probably only been sitting there 2 minutes, but in their mind they've been there for 10 minutes already, and the expectations are a lot higher.
Yeah, I think, I'll go back and thank you for that. I'll go back, and I think the most important thing is like making them feel, yes, we are wrong. I know the 2 minutes could sound, for them it's a 10 minute. We apologize first. We empathize with them, and we then try and not say get a waiter, or can I just help you with something, or how long do you have to sit here, how long do you have, time frame, finding out the time frame of their meal or whatever it is that they want to have. And now I figured out you want to have a drink and a meal. And then I'm going to say to you, okay, so can I recommend this? It's going to be quick, or what is it that you like? So I'm going to go in that way and ask more questions to understand, And in the end, the customer might say, I don't want anything for free, or yes, I do want something for free, and things like that. But yeah, I think the questions you need to ask is not yes or no answers. And the idea of me or you coming with the problem is asking you open-ended questions so that I could get some information from you.
I think, yes. I would never jump into giving anybody a free thing very quickly at first.
I know that.
First go through the process, because you'd end up with a queue of members that know that all they've got to do is complain and then they'll get something free. Obviously, if things go wrong in that, then you do complimentary stuff towards the end or things like that. But yeah, it's
what I do know is that sometimes when a customer does complain, I think in most aspects, you can't really tell the customer they were sitting there like for 2 minutes, right? And I fully understand what you're saying, because the moment you start giving free things, everybody's going to know, right?
Yeah.
I think we start to have the conversation with them, but if they're really irritable, I think, at some point after they've ordered, we would say to them, can we, we will discount their bill or something like that. And I think giving the free things, it's long gone. And because with today's economy, you can't really do that. And also we would lose a lot of business. So I think in a lot of ways to keep that customer and keep them coming back, you would maybe do something. I'm not exactly sure what happens in your world. If a customer like that complains, what happens there?
Yeah, I think first you satisfy the need, and then afterwards you sort of maybe debate or consider the level of frustration they went through and that, and then you might discount something, so you give them a free coffee or whatever at the end, or free dessert or that. But it obviously depends on the level of
where you can actually do that. Yeah, true. Yeah. I think a lot of people calm down the moment you say, can I discount your bill a bit, even if it's 5% or whatever the case might be, or a little something at the end, which you can afford to do. But thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you. What are the strategies you can use to align your solutions with your customer expectations? How to match your solutions to stated and unstated needs. So if you have a solution and if there is a need, then you need to have that solution that you have must match the need of customer. The importance of personalizing, tailoring your response to the customer situation, offering solutions with clarifying and explaining the benefits. So, we did that quite well now, where you said, in the end, the first thing is meet the need. And then after that, go into saying, we can offer you a free coffee or a dessert. But you've got to now decide what you can give away. So I have a customer here. I want to do a breakaway room, but we have too many people. So I have a problem. The customer wants a cheaper solution, but is also concerned about the quality. Can you possibly suggest some solutions that can balance your cost and quality? Can I ask that you open up your mic and then talk, because I don't want to do the breakaway rooms. That's going to cost us a lot of time. The question is, the scenario is a customer want a cheaper solution, but also concerned about the quality. Can you suggest some solutions? Maybe I can have maybe one or two, because we still want to talk about the expressed and underlying needs. Okay, what is expressed is that they want a cheaper solution, right? Well, they express the concern for the quality, but the underlying thing is that they want a cheaper solution. So I'm trying to think.
Yeah, Pauline, I remember. I mean, a simple example would be like wines and things like that. So you obviously get different value wines and things like that. And I still remember a customer when I first joined the club, and she said to me quite distinctly that we need to train our waiters when she's got guests, we must offer the expensive house wine. And when she's by herself, she doesn't need to show off, so she just wants the cheap plonk to get drunk and that. So, obviously, they having those different options there as far as, the better quality wines and the cheaper wines is an option there.
So let us discuss that. What is the underlying need there?
So she wants to be impressive when she's got guests with her, but when the guests aren't there, she just needs the effect.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's the underlying need. She wants to impress, I guess. Yeah, as you say, but she also wants to show off. Like, she's bringing them to a nice place and so on and so on. But yeah, that's a great example. That's a really nice example that you put out there. But yeah, thank you for that. Anybody else? One more person, if you have something like that or something similar to that.
Morning, Pauline. How are you?
Good morning, and I'm fine, and you?
Good, good. I'll give you guys a example in golf retail, possibly where a client's looking for a new glove. We would ultimately start him off with a top-end leather glove, let him experience that and feel the glove on, and then take him through various levels of pricing down to a synthetic glove. So firstly, he's experiencing the benefits of the top-end pricing, and then as he goes down to a synthetic, you'll then be able to make up his mind of where he fits in with which product fills his needs the best.
Yeah, so the underlying need is the actual glove, but then he also has the options of buying the others. Okay, that's yeah, because what is it? Everybody looks at everybody else in the golf club. I mean, on the golf course, right? So everybody's looking at how expensive it is and so on and so on. Yeah. Okay, thank you. That's great. Let's move on. So what is your key summary or the key takeaways from this? Listening is very important to your customer needs. I know we didn't do a lot of going into listening, understanding, but listening is so important. And sometimes I'm very quick, to respond instead of listening to understand. So I think, that is important, listening to understand, asking the right questions, and they must be open-ended questions, like with the what, who, and why. And always aim to align your solutions with both explicit and implicit customer desires. And so we go back, with the bottle of wine, with the customer that wants to show off. If the customer wants that, then this is what we're going to do. And what does a customer want is to impress the customers, and that that's a solution. And so you're going to go now into your wine storage and find those brands that or bottles of wine that is similar to the ones that are expensive. So that's the one thing. The other thing is that looking for solutions that will meet this customer's desire before they leave you. That's important, because when that customer walks away, you either have lost a customer or you have gained a customer, and you will only know that if that customer return, or you will look at your reviews. Okay. I have a question for you. Which technique will you use most to understand your customers better? There is some choices: asking open-ended questions, active listening, or personalizing solutions. Which technique will you use most to understand your customer better? You can either open your mic, or you can write something in the chat for me. I'll go to the chat and I will check that.
Hi, Pauline.
Hi.
Hi, Pauline. Sorry. I've noticed with our customers here at Widio, when they're complaining difficult, well, not difficult, but talking about getting a bit more personal information, like how are you, where do you stay on the West Side, how long have you been here, I'm a chef, talk about a bit about my background, and then get to know them better, because then they become, because our customers are mostly regulars that are here constantly. And if you build a bit of a relationship with them, find out about a bit their life and our life, I think they feel more comfortable knowing that you're a friendly face, not just a person walking around serving their food, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. I think if you put ourselves in a customer's shoe, when people remember who you are, there's a different kind of feeling, when you go back to a place. When you walk in there and they just mention greet you by your name, that actually says they are doing what they're supposed to. I won't say supposed to be doing, but that's the extra mile that they go to actually understand who their customers are. And absolutely, sometimes people don't really want to talk about themselves, but I think, like, when your customers have been coming there long, you've built that relationship, you can ask those questions, and that's the best thing. I think if you walked into a property, or walked to a place or went to a place a year ago, just once, and when you return, they actually know your name. For me,
Yes, that's
I'm
correct.
flabbergasted. If you think how many people go through their hands or how many people go through the institute or the organization, and then they remember you. That just says something about the staff there, or the management there, or and the type of customer service that they provide, or customer care that they provide there. But yeah,
Yes.
that's one of the best ways. Yes. I see Tilani says, I prefer personalizing solutions, tailored corporate membership options. Thank you very much. I like service to be greater level of contribution. Yeah, surveys as well. Asking open-ended question and active listening, very important for sure. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, Adrian, for that.
Pleasure.
So our next topic is communication skills. So with communication skills, you need to understand the elements of effective communication. And effective communication is basically, I think, to be able to, and this is speaking as well as writing, both verbal, non-verbal. I think, when you use effective communication, you opening to listening, speaking, in phrases that are understandable, open to queries, or open to comments, or people responding to you. So, and communication works both ways. For those of you who was in my previous webinars, we spoke about when you do communicate, remember there's a whole lot that happens from the time it leaves you till it gets to the next person, and the person could be standing next to you, until it gets to the next person. And in between that, you've got to put that message and then decode that message, or encode and decode, meaning that the moment you start processing your information that you want to speak, and we take this for granted, our brain works so quickly that the moment we want to say something, we're already encoding this message, okay, that's going to come out of our mouth. And then the person who's receiving it has to decode that. So when we speak, we have to be able to, or we have to, speak, or the words that we are using is easily able to be decoded by the person who's receiving it. And in our case, it's not like, our colleagues and, our management or staff or employees. These are, customers we are dealing with. And if they take it wrong, they're going to come back for you. Learning active listening skills. As we said before, listen to not to respond, but listen to understand. And also develop the skills to convey clear ideas and ideas clearly and confidently. I think here you have to understand your business. You have to understand what type of service you are providing. You have to also understand, if you are new to the business or if you are old in the business, you need to understand these things to be able to convey these ideas clearly. Sometimes you can't really give everything to the customers, but if you understand how your property works or how your club works, the policies and procedures and so on, you will be able to convey that in your communication with the customer. I have a question. I know I'm doing a lot of poll questions, quick ones, because we have a lot of people and we have a lot to get through. What is your biggest communication challenge, personally? So, guys, you have two options. You're more than welcome to speak to me, or you can write in the chat.
I feel sometimes there's a break in communication. Let's say our floor manager communicates something, a customer communicates something to a floor manager, and the floor manager comes to me and communicates, and it's eventually, when it gets to the right person, the message is, I'm just using this as a scenario, the message is totally wrong than what the customer asked for, and then it's just the whole communication is broken, and then the original question a customer asks is not the question that gets to the top, if that makes sense.
Yes, I get what you're saying. So my question then would be, what is the solution to this, or what is the resolution, or how can we beat this? Or I wouldn't say beat this, but how could we overcome this?
I feel like maybe the details of the person asking the question must be taken down, and who he wants a question from. Let's say it's a customer that wants a question from the F&B manager, but is speaking to a floor manager, these details must be given to the customer's details must be taken and given to the F&B manager and said, and I don't want a floor manager to answer a question if he's not sure what the answer is, and rather say, thank you for your question. I will revert back to my F&B manager and he will communicate with you. So you know that the right answer is given.
Right. And just there and then, absolutely. Those are the ground rules for your floor manager. So when customers do come with a question, they don't know how to answer it, or they're not exactly sure. Your ground rule should be take the information down, write the customer's detail, bring it back to me, and I can take it from there. Because not in all cases, all staff members or even your management level or supervisors have the ability, not because they don't have it, it's because maybe they don't have the authority to make certain decisions. So that is important. Your ground rule should be that. Thank you for that.
Okay.
And then the struggle to give feedback, which makes things difficult. Sinet, in which way? Oh, this was from my previous one. So anybody have some options? What is your biggest communication challenge? I'm trying to see if anyone's written on the chat. No. I can listen to feedback. Okay. Sorry about this. Why is it giving feedback difficult? Can I ask that question? Sorry, I'm trying to get to the chat. I'm still listening and giving feedback. Why is feedback giving? Lack of confidence. I think, Sibong is, okay, let me pronounce it right. Sibongin Kosi. Lack of confidence. I said, this comes with learning. Lack of confidence. I think we've all had that. We all started out very low in industry or, at the lowest part of it. And for us to be able to have confidence is that we basically have to learn about the business, understand what your organization is about, and practice with your colleagues. You're going to get it. You will get it. We all had lack of confidence. If somebody asked me 10 years ago, 10 years ago, would I be able to, or maybe even 15 years ago, would I be able to lecture or stand in front of an audience? I would tell you no. Absolutely not. I wouldn't have been able to have done that. And Adrian, you said something about training, lack of training.
Yes, staff are not always trained properly to answer, and if they train properly and given the confidence to give the right answer, I think that helps a lot.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you probably hit the nail on the head. And I think, I don't know how many management we have on the webinar right now. Your biggest assets are your employees. Your biggest assets are the people that actually face the customers. Some of the managers that sit here today don't face the customers. You have a lot more on your plate. It doesn't mean you're sitting on your hands, but you have a lot to deal with. You're dealing with your superiors, you're dealing with budgets and a whole lot of other stuff. And I think one of the things you could invest in is training your employees. They are the ones that's going to face the customers. And if they are able to answer the customers, you have no worries. You have no worries whatsoever. When feedback can be difficult, when information we receive and then convey to the customers are misinterpreted. Yeah, Shlali, this is what Adrian was saying. Was it Adrian? Somebody said this.
Adrian, yes.
Yes. So did you say that? Where if you don't know how to answer the question, your best bet is bring your managers forward. And if they are not available, you say to the customers, thank you for the feedback. Tone of voice is very important. Yes. Also, I'll come to that point as well. Coming back to the fact of what Adrian said is that write it down, thank the customer for the feedback, thank the customer for the concern, and make sure that you go back and follow up. This is the important thing is, because if you are the message carrier, if you are the one that's taking the message back to your manager, make sure that either I'm not saying you need to now go and tell your manager what to do, but make sure that you go back and find out if there's feedback. Has the feedback been given? Because remember, we all have other duties. And because you were the one that the customer came to, and you follow up and say, you know what, if there was a resolution, then you're happy with it. But if not, then, find a way to actually get back to the customer and say, we're still waiting for an answer. And as soon as we get one, we will get back to you. This is important. He's following up with the customers. The tone of your voice is very important. Yes, Ron, I have this bad thing. And it's something that I have to teach myself. When people speak, also my facial expression tells a lot in what I'm thinking. And it's something that I'm trying to control, and it's very difficult. So with your tone of voice, sometimes you think, you're having this conversation, and sometimes people misinterpret it as though you are trying to be defensive. That's the one thing. And the other thing is that, you're trying to be rude or come across as being what is the word I'm trying to use now? You're not important. And I think it's the way we speak, and you're absolutely right. This is so important. Okay. Anybody else? Look, I don't understand about this weather in Joburg. It's raining, but it's also very hot at the same time. Nobody can explain this to me. Anyway, thank you so much for that. Some of us do have the challenges. Training is important. Understanding your business, understanding how to answer these questions, and time, it takes time if you're not confident. And, all of these skills can be learned, by the way. I'm still learning them. There are some that I'm not 100% good at. And, we learn and we get better. What are the elements of effective communication? See, I got a spelling error there. My apologies. Versus non-verbal versus non-verbal. As I said, verbal, when you speak, non-verbal, your facial expression, your body language, the way you approach the customers. And, a lot of the times we think we're listening to the customer, but our hands are folded. Immediately that tells you you're not interested. You're there, but you're not interested. So body language is very important. Your facial expressions, as I said, I'm someone, when someone speaks to me, I have this terrible habit. My eyebrows will raise. I'm not smirking or anything, but my eyebrows will be raised, and I'm expression. There's a lot of expression in my face. That is important. How do you come across to someone else? The clarity of your voice and your tone. And also, something I've learned, if you understand your organization, their policies and procedures, you understand what you're dealing with, you understand your department, your job, your service you're providing, I think with confidence you could speak. Even if you don't have the authority, you can speak with confidence. The power of empathy in communication. Sometimes empathy is something that we have a fast-paced business. And, sometimes we don't have the time to have the empathy because we are constantly working, and we're constantly, changing over and working and moving. And, we need to have a little bit of empathy when we communicate as well. And that doesn't mean being soft, and that does not mean giving away things. Empathy is recognizing that there is a problem and empathizing with them. So I have a nice scenario here. And you can answer me, or you can do it in the chat. So on the screen, it says, during a team meeting, and this is about communication, right? Sarah mentions that the client presentation is due next Friday. So she mentions this to Mark. Mark assumes she means the following Friday, giving him 2 weeks to prepare. However, Sarah meant the upcoming Friday, leaving just 5 days. As the week progresses, Sarah becomes concerned when Mark has not shared any updates. On Thursday, she asks about the presentation, and Mark is shocked to realize they are on completely different timelines. So I'm looking for, how would you handle the situation? Explode. That's a good one, Talani. I think I don't know. I think I'm going to start panicking at that time. There you go, Charles. Mark should have asked and not assumed he's in the wrong. Do you think that Mark is in the wrong? Yeah. For assumption, yes.
Pauline?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Karine. I'm from Centurion Country Club. So basically what I would first do is I would resolve the current situation. So I would assist to get the client presentation done as quick as possible now because it's due in a day. And then I would look at options to improve so that it doesn't happen again. So maybe improve communication in that sense.
Yes. So absolutely, Karine, you're right. So the first thing we're going to do is first we're going to panic a bit and we're going to go all to Z because and not on Mark and we have to reflect on ourselves, right? So the first thing is resolve the issue by getting this presentation done as quickly as possible with Mark, because obviously there's two sides to blame. And I think it's important also we review, it's very easy for us to shift blame. I saw somebody said that Mark should not have assumed. Yes, he should not have assumed. But Sarah, on the other hand, she also sent out this communication, didn't give any specific guidelines, or I'd say timelines, did not say, when it's due or what time it's due, because it could be any time from a day is till 11:59 at night. So, this could have been it. So I think, both sides were actually wrong, the assumption side and the giving of the information side. So yeah, she was wrong. She should have given a time and a date and and then he also could have went back and said, and this is the encoding and decoding a message, went back and said, like, which Friday do you want this? Like, I'm not only sitting here doing presentations, that's what Mark does, but when do you need this? That's important. And this goes back to us.
Hello, I'm Andile.
Hi, Andile. Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes, I hear you.
I think Sarah should have, with Mark, they should have put the right date and time to meet, or maybe an email rather, to make things easier. Thank you.
Absolutely. I think so too. And also another thing about giving out instructions or giving out or sending out communication. And if you are, and I'm talking to both, whether if you're an employee or a manager, if you are sending out some type of information, and here we go back to your customer complaint as well. If you're sending an email or a message, make sure that the message is clear, because when that person gets the message, they're going to read it differently. They're going to understand it differently. An assumption is the cruel word of killing everything in life, killing relationships. There's conflict, there's confusion. So assumption is one of your ingredients for causing havoc, in the workplace. So it's important. Thank you very much to everybody who said, Sarah was wrong and Mark was wrong for the assumption, and she also wasn't clear in a communication. And the solutions that Karine gave was absolutely on point. Shall, very true. Make a plan and improve on mistakes and communication. If it happens again, then steps can be taken against Mark. That seems fair. Yes, but also Sarah. Sarah, I think, sometimes we, and a lot of people can identify this, here, we get so busy and we want to get, through so many things in the day that the hours is too less for us. And we sometimes give up this information. But if you are on the receiving end, I'm asking you, ask the question, what time, when, how? Because if you ask these questions, you're going to clarify what the person needs. And I think that person is going to stop and say, okay, it's going to be on that day or it's going to be on this day. It doesn't mean that it must come only from the person who's issuing that instruction or that communication. Thank you. So I want to show a little video. I think we have enough time when we're going. The definition of active listening, how to show attentiveness. One of the things, instead of breaking somebody when they are speaking, is nodding, summarizing, which is paraphrasing, and listening versus waiting to speak. So a lot of the times we're trying to process, and they say there are two people in the world in terms of listening. Some people listen to just respond and give whatever it is and don't listen to all of the aspects. And then there are some people that will wait. And I love those people. They wait. First, they listen, they process, they try to understand, they'll paraphrase you, and then they'll respond to you. And, it's sometimes you just want to tell people, give them an answer because you think that's what they want. I think a lot of times when people speak, They want to be understood first. And let me see if I can go to this video. I have a reflection question for you while watching. What did you notice about this conversation, and was anything communicated? Why are you not? Sorry, guys. I need to go back. I think I have to go back into my thing. Sorry. I have to do this. My apologies, because while I'm projecting, it doesn't want to. It must be. Please let me know if you can see the video. There's a lot of things. Hey guys, my apologies. Can you see my Google screen?
Well, we can see the presentation, not the Google screen.
So I have to go back to the presentation.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes, wait, I'm going to go back to the presentation.
Yeah.
And then, what is it doing?
Maybe you can stop sharing and then you can share
That's
it.
what I'm going to do.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, I have to go back and forth, and then guys just bear with us with this.
We can see it now.
Thank you.
But it's the sound. You need to share it with sound because we can't hear now.
My sound is high, so it's
So what you can do is stop sharing, and then when you share, there's a icon that says share with sound.
like I'm stop sharing now, and then it said, oh, okay, there you go. There you go. Thank you.
Cool.
So can you tell me if you're here now?
First, there was PlayStation.
Can you hear this?
Yes, we can.
Thank you.
AKA PS1. Then there's PS2, PS3, and now PS4. And that makes sense. You'd think after Xbox, there'd be Xbox 2. But no. Next came Xbox 360. And now, after 360, comes Xbox One. Why one? Maybe that's how many seconds of thought they put into naming it.
Can you get the butter, please?
Yeah. However, with the Xbox One, I can control my entire entertainment system using voice commands. Up until now, I've had to use Leonard.
Then get the other one. Pass the butter.
Hang on. I don't feel like you're taking this dilemma seriously.
Fine, Sheldon. You have my undivided attention.
Okay, now, the PS4 is more angular and sleek looking.
No way!
It's true, but the larger size of the Xbox One may keep it from overheating.
You wouldn't want your gaming system to overheat?
No, see, well, you absolutely would not. And furthermore, the Xbox One now comes with a Kinect included.
Included?
Yes! Not sold separately. Although the PS4 uses cool new GDDR5 RAM, while the Xbox One is still using the conventional DDR3 memory.
Why would they still be using DDR3? Are they nuts?
See, that's what I thought. But then they go and throw in an ES RAM buffer.
Whoa, wait a second. Who's they?
Xbox.
You're kidding!
No, I am not. And this ES RAM buffer should totally bridge the 100 gigabit per second bandwidth gap between the two RAM types.
This is a nightmare. How will you ever make a decision?
See, I don't know. What should I do?
Please pass the butter!
Yeah, I thought that was a lighter moment. Let me just share my screen again. So the question is, let me go back here. What did you notice about the conversation? Was there any miscommunication?
Yes, my name is Andile. Yes, there was a miscommunication. I think their loud voices are disturbing each other and their time to eat, and the other customers too.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
What else did you notice? Anyone else? Likely not yet, not yet, okay. Anyone else? What else did you notice? Was anything miscommunicated? Yeah, Sheldon forgot the butter because he was too busy focusing on the topic. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the one.
Hi. The thing that I noticed, they don't listen to each other.
No.
They just raise the voices.
Yes, yes. They're not. They're both of them. They are not. She is just repeating what he is saying.
Yes.
In the end, like, and like when he said, I notice you're not like, interested. And then she starts repeating what he says, but she's not listening to understand anything. Yeah. Eleonora, he was not listening to what she needed and was too concerned about his situation. There you go. They're not listening to each other. They just definitely was not listening to each other. Nothing, everything was going chaotic there. Thank you. Why are you not? Right. How can you speak clearly and confidently? The importance of using concise language, meaning I think when we speak, we need to use the right words, using the right words, number one. Number two, we need to be able to communicate so that the other person understands. Using, I think, bigger words. When I say bigger words, you don't want the other person to be confused. Yes, we have to be professional, but that does not mean we have to use words that we have to search in the dictionary. What does it mean? Okay. Adjusting your tone and body language. And very clearly, we can see there in the video how they are shouting on top of each other. And at one point, Sheldon's girlfriend was just looking down and busy eating and have no concerns whatsoever. And I think even when we speak as well, the way we come across, and, we need to be clear, but we do not need to sound like we are shouting. We also need to be clear, but not talk like a mouse. And I don't mean that in any way. We sometimes, when a customer complains or somebody complains or when we have a member come in and they have a query or a question or they want to complain, we tend to, dive into a shell and we can't speak. And practice makes perfect for that. We keep on practicing. Sometimes if you cannot answer, you can always help a colleague or you call your manager to assist you and things like that. So the tone of our voice is very important because that tells us that we can answer back, that we are confident in what we are doing. And we are service providers, so we must be able to be confident in what we're doing. But you can practice, and with training and understanding your business, you're going to get perfect. I have one activity for you. Type one sentence in the chat about something you are passionate about. It needs to be 10 words. I'll give you a quick tip. Use the what, why, and how. The reason why I want to do this is when you are talking to anybody, whether it's your colleague, whether it's your manager, whether you're customers, this is what you should use, the what, why, and how. You can engage the other person as well. Yes. Sometimes, Charles, it's very difficult for some, like, I think some of us, to engage. Sometimes we just go into the shop. But as I say, we've got to train ourselves to actually get into the point where we can interact. There's no interaction between two people. One should take a step back and find a way to communicate clearly. Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head. So my activity is type one sentence that you are passionate about, 10 words. Let me see if I can do it. Thank you, Pat. a good way of understanding this. We have 2 ears to listen carefully and 1 mouth to convey the information. Yeah, we need to keep reminding ourselves of that. Let's see. Yes, Charles. Is anybody answering my activity? What are you passionate about? But you got to use the what why now, and I'm struggling here because I also want to do it. I love to using a lot of knowledge.
I have Paul Leishman's comment, and he's saying personal development and growth for all employees in the club industry.
Okay, absolutely. That's good. And growth and learning staff how to communicate, they must see what you do in mind. Yes, good and mind pairings convey 3 elements of good evening, good wines, and great interpersonation. Yeah, I can see these are passionate, treating people with mutual respect. Passion about work, which includes reception, passion about invoices. Yeah, Sunette. Wow. Was you never thought they would. Yes. You know, for those of us that have been around long, imparting of our knowledge is so important. And Charles, it's like it gives you a sense of, I don't think a sense of achievement. It's like when you see people grow, it just makes you like glow, you know? Absolutely. Raise the first year, what is the cost record? Okay. Passionate about work. And go down further. Why am I getting on personal development, growth, and learning staff how to communicate effectively? Absolutely, Margaret. Passionate about helping clients solve problems. Yeah, you know, this is Rohan, this is a difficult one, but I think you're really good at this because you say you're passionate about solving problems and personal growth. That's one. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Okay, so your takeaways from this is with effective clarification, with effective communication, you require clarity and empathy and active listening. Practice listening on a daily, in daily conversations. I think, you know, this is something we can do with our colleagues, you know, while talking. You can practice, you know, try and listen, ask the questions, and see what you get out of it. And I think this is where you start with your colleagues. Confident speaking comes with preparation and self-awareness. So I think, you know, if you're aware of your level of understanding of your business, trained well, then you will be able to speak confidently. And I just want to go back and say, learning to communicate does not mean you need to have formal training. A lot of things we as humans adapt very quickly to. We misunderstand our ability to do great things. And I want to say that if you are not being formally trained, you can train yourself to speak, to respond, and to listen. So here we come to our difficult customers. So some of the things we are going to discuss here is understand the common types of difficult customers, some practical techniques for diffusing customer tension, and how to turn negative interactions into positive outcomes. So if you want to speak to me, you're more than welcome. Which type of difficult customer do you encounter the most? Angry and frustrated, unreasonable, the ones that are silent or over demanding? I'm going to open the floor and you can quickly tell me, or the option of writing in the chat. You're most welcome. Anyone? In general, which type of customers do you encounter? I think we all in these. I'm trying to think when I was in the industry. Angry. You do get the unreasonable. Silent. There's no. It's very rare you'll find a silent customer. There might be a small percentage of people that are silent and they'll walk away, but the others, I just want to see what are you guys dealing with on your side. Look at this. Frustrated and unreasonable customers. Frustrated and unreasonable is Donovan. Frustrated and unreasonable. No. I wonder why people are like this. If I look at, are we like this also? I'm trying to understand. Are we the same? I mean, if you went to or if you went to a club, to a golfing club, or if you went to, to an organization, would you also be a difficult customer? Angry, frustrated, unreasonable, over demanding, and other. Can I ask? I know this is a personal thing. You as a hospitality specialist, right? This is what I can refer to you as. When you go to another hospitality organization or institution, I won't say institution, I work at institution, which is a college, to a hotel, a restaurant, or a club, are you the same? Just a question. Entitled, a lot of entitled clients. Yeah.
Pauline, I think when you work in the industry, you must probably, hopefully, are more respectful of the way that you complain. But I do, if things don't go well, then I do let people know. But I think we do it with respect, hopefully.
Yes. I think we might not know this, but we tend to be more empathetic when we go to any other organization, and whether it be any one of them in the hospitality and tourism industry. If we have to go there and if we have to encounter bad service or food is bad or I don't know, a long list of things that can go wrong, we still are empathetic. We still will complain with some level of, with respect, understanding what because we go through the same thing, right? And then we do that with respect. And Adrian, you're so right. Because we recognize that they are going through the things that we went through or we're going through in the business. I see there's a lot of chats here. I'm going to read them. So generally more understanding cases being done. Absolutely, yes, we're more understanding. I've traveled to so many places and yeah, I think, we look at South Africa and we think we're like a third world country, but you have to go to some places and see the level of service there. And then, even then you are respectful. Yeah, we're very understanding. We underestimate ourselves, eh? We are absolutely understanding when we are visiting other places. Mr. Well, yeah. Yes. Because we know what happens behind the scenes. Thank you. I get members that think they are better than you, and I like bulldogs. I love this. Wait, I want to say it in the right way. You see, now when I choose my words wisely, a lot of the times money talk. So if you have a lot of money, you're spending a lot of money, people become like these outrageous, like, I don't know how to put it, like these people that will go around and just throw their weight around and like, just expect everything and anything because they can throw their money around. Yeah, no, interact with them. Treated that way. So you do not behave in an unacceptable manner. I'm sorry. Yes. Yes. Because we also understand things go wrong. We also understand things happen. Because we are in the industry. And sometimes people ask, like, why are you not angry? But sometimes you think to yourself, instead of spending all the time being angry, you can actually spend the time being very polite, and people will remember you for that, right? And we have a great sense of that. We have a lot of that given us. People will remember you for that. Not understanding today, it doesn't just want to move on. So what are the common types of difficult customers? So you get angry, frustrated customers. Angry customers, like, they come there. Some people just come there angry. The good Lord knows why they are angry in life, but they will come there angry and frustrated. And sometimes it's not you. So they will take out whatever it is that they come with onto whoever they are speaking to. And these angry and frustrated customers is like everything that is going wrong. Nothing you can do is right. Everything will be gone wrong. You also have people that are unreasonable, asking for a lot and paying less, or paying their money and expecting the entire organization to fall at their feet and roll out the red carpet. I'm trying to figure out, they say that, silent customers are one of them, and they are the worst ones that don't talk and go away, and they never return. And they might go out there and they might say something to other people. But, there are people that will quietly leave and not say anything. I feel they are the ones that we should be really, really careful about, because if we don't know what the issue is, we are not able to help them. We're not able to win them over. We are not able to say anything, not in our defense, but not to say anything so that we can resolve the issue. These people are bad, the silent people. And over-demanding. Over-demanding is very similar to unreasonable. So, they will want, if they're paying for one, they would expect more and more and more out of you. Or maybe over-demanding can be, you come to your organization, order something, and then expect over and above that. Or if they're going to pay for the service, they think that they can just rope in other services as well. It's important to also understand their mindsets so you can respond effectively. And this is the thing, that when people come in angry and frustrated, you figure out, like, where's the problem coming from? Like, is it outside, or do they see something on the building that they're not happy with, and that's why they come in frustrated? Because you do find that customers that will walk in there flustered, angry, this is wrong, that is wrong, So I think we just need to take that step back, understand where it's coming from so we can respond. Because two angry people don't make a right? If the customer is angry, you get angry, nothing's going to work out. It's just going to be a bigger problem. And matching the type with the appropriate response style. So even when you have a frustrated customer, you cannot respond as you would respond to an unreasonable customer. If you have an unreasonable customer, your response cannot be the same as to an angry and frustrated customer. You have to tailor your response to those particular difficult customers or members. Okay, but I think we did this. When we did our role play, a customer is yelling because their product or service was delayed. What type of customer would you think this would be? Definitely not a silent customer. Can either be an angry, frustrated, unreasonable, or over-demanding. You have three choices. because this person is speaking loud, so it can't be a silent customer. A customer is yelling because their product or service was delayed. Could you possibly tell me which type of customer is this? Firstly, yelling. The operative word here is yelling. Angry. Frustrated. Yeah. Absolutely. Angry and frustrated. Frustrated, yes. Very frustrated. That yelling part is the frustration that you can hear that comes out in their voice. Customer is angry and frustrated. Yep. Yes. Okay. So definitely an angry, frustrated customer. Not unreasonable or over demanding, but as we said earlier, if the customer is yelling, angry and frustrated, we also need to take a step back and think, how long was the customer waiting there? Really 10 minutes or 2 minutes? And then we got to respond in that way. And like, we can't say calm down. We have to like go in there, apologize. How could we make this better? And another tip I wanted to share with you, I don't think it's anywhere here, but I want to share with you that when people are angry, I've realized, that the one thing you can do is when they're angry, when you go then, when you apologize and say, I'm really sorry for this, and how could I assist you? Or like, in which way I could assist you, or how could I make it right? And that's the question. That's something, when you ask somebody that, they have to stop and think, how can I make this right? Or how can I deliver a better service to you? You will hear in that. When you ask that question, they're going to give you a lot. And if they start with giving free things and you say, but sir, company policy is, and then you start with the policy. But when most people will not start with a free thing. And you also will identify customers who are there just to complain because they want free things. But then when you listen to people, when you ask, how can I make this right? Or how can I provide the service you need? They will stop and think what they need, and they will communicate that with you. Let's see, what are we saying? Angry and frustrated. But unfortunately, I have something to do. Okay. Arsenet, sorry to see you go, but thank you very much for attending. Who is this? Somebody told me now. Oh, Pat, it's you. Thank you very much, Pat. Sorry to see you go, but I will share the webinar with you, with Lebachang, and she will share it with you. Okay, let's move on. Sorry for this thing coming up. So there's some practical techniques for diffusing member tension. You can stay calm and don't take it personally. And remember, every time a customer comes in, they're angry and off, frustrated and going off. You might be having some personal issue at home, or something that is wrong with whatever. Please don't take it personally. It's not you. It's not our fault when they are angry and upset and frustrated. Also, one of the things is, well, sometimes with our service, when we are not providing efficient service, like, on time and stuff like that, there could be a problem also on your side where you don't have enough staff. Okay, you don't have enough people serving, and that could be something it's not a problem of yours. Yes, it's a problem of the organization, but not a problem of yours. So don't take it personally. Another thing, when a customer complains, this is something else that I wanted to share as well. Don't quickly blame. When you apologize to the customer, don't blame the organization. A lot of times, yes, our organization might be false, but you are working for them. We get paid by the organization. They are the bread and the butter on your table. So don't be very quick to discredit your organization. And the reason I'm saying this is because you represent your organization, right? And so when the customer does complain, whether it's a level of service or whether they are angry with something, start by apologizing and start by asking, how can you help, fix this problem? In the end, you can go at the back. You can shout and scream and do whatever you want with your manager, but not in front of the customer. But don't take it personally, because this is not about you. You are the person that's providing the service. Listen, use active listening to let the customer feel he's heard. And that's important. Whenever we are angry, remember, we all have relationships, right? Outside work and inside, and I mean like personal relationships outside work and colleagues, the relationship with colleagues. You know, we do have conflicts, we do have issues, we do speak to each other. Sometimes there's confusion. If the other person is, if you have something to say to the other person and you are talking to them and they are not listening, it feels that they are ignoring you. So if you slip the shoe on the other side, you know, if you are acting like the customer and if you are talking to somebody about something that's affecting you and they are not listening, active listening to you, you will feel that you are being ignored. You know, apologize empathetically and take ownership, even if it's not your fault. And I fully understand, like, you know, we say, you know, let's not say that we are at fault because we don't want to give three things. But when you apologize, make sure that it is sincere, you know, no smirk on your face, be sincere, look at the person in their eye and apologize and say, we are sorry, you know, I am sorry. How can I assist? Or what can I do to make this better? Offer solution than focusing on the problem. That's the other thing is that the moment you start adding on or start talking to the customer about the problem he came with, everything, your conversation or your communication will be around the problem instead of finding a solution. And that is why in the immediate next step after listening, you should be empathetic and say, I'm sorry. And how can I assist? What to make this better? And you're moving towards a solution and not focusing on the problem behind. So I have a scenario. We have a difficult customer. The customer is angry about a billing mistake. So you overbill the customer, or there was things on the bill that was, or you bill the customer or something. That probably could have been an honest mistake. Sorry, that could have been an honest mistake. Or the other difficult thing is that maybe the customer didn't like something that was given to them. For example, maybe they had a meal at your organization and the meal was not too good and he was angry and so on, returned the plate. And somewhere along the line, the cashier billed for both the plates, even though you replaced the plate. The customer is upset. So my question to you is, can you suggest an alternative response or approach through the chat? And you can use a 3-step response approach. Acknowledge the problem, apologize, and resolve. This customer is upset about the billing. If you can, use the 3 steps that's shown on the screen. Acknowledge his problem, apologize, and resolve. I want to see in the chat will be perfect for now. If you're willing to speak, you're more than welcome to open up your mic. Anyone?
I think, Pauline, if you just immediately apologize for any inconvenience, say you just want to have a look at the mistake and see how it happened, and that you want to resolve it as quick as possible, and then get on to resolving it, correcting the bill or whatever the mistake was.
Yeah, I think in this case, as you said, thank you very much for that. Acknowledge there was a problem. Ask the guest to show you the bill. Acknowledge there was a mistake. Apologize and say, my apologies for the wrong billing, and resolve the issue. This is fairly simple. You know, you go back to the machine and then, you know, you credit whatever it is that you have put on the bill. Somebody wrote something on the chat. Let me look. Sorry. Suggest to avoid the item and reprint a new bill and apologize for the inconvenience. Thank you, Adrian. Yes. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, so how can you turn negative interactions into positive outcomes? You know how well handle complaints actually can lead to increased customer loyalty. We are the same. And when if we have a complaint or we have something that we want to grant about, I think the way the other person or way the organization actually handles that complaint, we will go back. There's no doubt about it. And I think you are in this industry, and I think you've seen this. Customers, you have this, I think, almost every day. I'm sure on a weekly basis you have many customers that complain or put in concerns and things like that. But it's the way you handle the customer that they will come back. Also use the complaints as opportunities to improve your services. So if there are complaints about your services, I think use it, constructively. Yes, customers will complain, but you need to sieve out the ones that is just constantly complaining about stuff that is already there, and really look into the ones that you can improve. And it's a great way of measuring how well you're doing. And the importance of following up after resolving an issue, which is important. A customer can be there, you solve the issue. And I know sometimes customers will come complain and give. I think we don't really necessarily have the time to actually send an email. Those days are gone where we do send an email and so on and so on. But while the customer's there, I think, just follow up. Is everything okay? Are you satisfied or not? And I think for those of you that are on supervisory level and floor management level, and I think you should go back and, and give this feedback to your manager that you did have a customer that complained, the problem was resolved. And in case it does come back, and, or the manager will take that opportunity to actually follow up. And I think a lot of managers do that, where if a customer had a problem, they will go out and speak to the customer. Can I ask this very crucial question? Can you think of a time when a difficult customer turned into a loyal one? And what did your team do right? So you don't need to tell me what the problem was. Can you just tell me, think about it and tell me, what did your team do right? I see some chats. Yes. I do see that now. Like a lot of organizations are using the Google, which is the My Business tool. I see even retail does it now. You go there and buy something, fix a problem, make the customer. Oh yes, that's what all customers want. We love that. We humans, we love this. Yeah, more towards the customers. Yes. Yeah. This is the extra mile, Talia, that you go through. You remember the original problem, then that guest is coming. Let's make sure that we are. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for this. But I'm just looking at my time quickly to see how I'm doing for time. Okay. We have half an hour. Thank you for that. Okay, so different customers require different strategies. Not all customers can. I don't think you can use the same solution for all customers. It's not possible. Staying calm, active listening, showing empathy is key. And the goal isn't just to resolve complaints, but to build trust. You want your customers to come back. You want them to stay. You don't want them to just leave, Okay. I have a question, and I want to open it up for your questions. Or I want to ask a question. What was the most what was the most useful skill you learned today? You have some choices there, or you can ask me a question. I'm going to give you a few minutes to ask a question or some comments. Anyone? Any questions? No. Anybody, what did you learn so far? I think I have a bit more to go. You show proper empathy, sincere empathy. Thank you, Ian. Listening is a skill. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Let me just put this down. Moving on. Service recovery. But I get through a lot. So service recovery is very important to us as the industry we're in. If you look, I have a very nice graph showing here. If our service fails, we can recover it. Customers without service failure will always sit on the same line, but then there are customers that will complain to us, and they can be the best thing ever for our organizations, for ourselves, for our self-esteem. And I think, for those of us who understand fully that when you solve a problem, we tend to actually feel great. And, when the customer is praising us, we feel great. And that's actually a good thing actually for your team, yourself, your team, your organization. So the importance of service delivery, you will learn the step-by-step process for handling service failures and discover how to restore customers' trust and loyalty. How often do you face customer complaints and service issue? I can ask the question, and a lot of people are going to tell me frequently. We all do. We all face customers that will complain at some point or the other, or they will come to us and tell us that we are not doing great, or and things like that. Whether it's about the service, whether it's about things that they are not happy about, or whether it's about the there is something that they expect and they are not getting, they will complain about it. So I would say frequently. I want to I actually have, sorry, I'm trying to think of another word that I need to say. I have a few activities that I'm going to try not to do all of them, unfortunately, because of time span. And I'm going to get through the most important things, and then I will do some activities in the rest. These are not, I've tried this time not to do break rooms because of the time span. So you will find sometimes just maybe one or two of the activities I won't do. Like here, I was going to do this where you guys are going to do a poll for me, but I'm going to move to the next one. I promise not to rush. I'm going to just keep in the timeline. What is the definition of service recovery? It's a process of making things right after a service failure. Why should service recovery be critical? Unresolved issues lead to the loss of customers, while successful recovery can lead to increased loyalty. The service recovery paradox, how fixing a mistake can actually make customers more loyal than they were before. We tend to go towards organizations that will solve our problems. So if we have a problem and somebody has solved it, you'll go back there because you know for sure that if there's a problem and if you say so, it will be resolved and your customers will stay with you. I think I mentioned this before. You must have heard this before. For every one customer that is not satisfied, they will leave your organization and tell 10 other people. And nowadays, it's not just about telling other people. So back in the old adage, we would do that, word of mouth. Now it's no longer that. Now it's social media. It's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and every other social media you can think about will find out that your organization has let them down. So, one customer that you lose can do a lot of damage to your organization. So it's imperative. If a customer is not happy, has left there, you find out that the customer left unhappy, track them down, find out how you could fix it, find out what you could do to make it right. Because I promise you, if you don't, it will damage your business. It will damage your reputation. It will damage a lot of things along the way because they can tell a million other people. So this I'm going to do. A member booked a tea time for 9 a.m. on Saturday through the club's online portal, and they received a confirmation email. However, when the group arrives, they are informed at the front desk that their slot was double booked due to a system glitch, and another group has already teed off. The staff offers no immediate solution other than waiting for an open slot, which could take up to 2 hours. Okay, so she gave a solution. It will take up to 2 hours. When the member asks to speak to the manager, they are told the manager is unavailable and there are no compensation or alternatives like complimentary drinks or range balls are provided. The outcome of that, the members group leave disappointed, share their poor experience with others, and considered switching to a competing club with better service. I think if I'm going to ask you the question, how would you rate the company responding on a scale 1 to 5? What would you say? 1 or 2, 3, or 4, and 1 is going, or 1 is minimal effect and 5 is going above and beyond? 1. Thanks, Giselle. And while we're thinking about that, what would you have done better? Because I'm so sure if they had double booked, and she said the tea time, they have to wait for hours. What would you, I'm just asking the question for those that, that work in the golfing, I think everybody does, right? What would you have done? Can anybody, while everybody is giving their rating, everybody's saying a 1. Yeah, I know that's bad. Can anybody tell me what would you have done differently? Or what should have been done?
Pauline, I think in a situation like this, somebody from senior management would definitely get involved, try and make a plan to squeeze the people in, go out of your way to apologize and make them feel like it's a mistake that won't happen again.
But the manager was not there.
Yeah, there needs to be somebody. If the manager's not there, then they shouldn't be at that club anyway. There should be somebody responsible.
Okay. Okay, so let's have the staff member, right? She or he would have been trained or something like that, right? What do you think she could have done better in this situation? So obviously it was no fault of us because there was a system glitch, right? Well, then we can still debate that because it could be like, the IT's got an issue or whatever it is, but this is no fault of the person that's sitting in front. My question is, what could she have done better now? Because the manager is not there. Obviously, he's off probably, I don't know, late, working a late shift, or maybe coming in later. I don't know. So what do you think she could have done better?
I think if there's absolutely no opportunity to squeeze them in, so if it's really just a jam-packed day that's going to cause inconvenience for everybody, then you do go and say, sorry, we'll have to accommodate you at some other time, but it'll be a complimentary experience, so we'll refund you for what you have paid if you have paid up front or whatever, and the next time you come it'll be free in that. So you really
okay. So there is an opportunity for something to say like that because now it says there's no compensative or alternatives, but in the industry that you are working in, are you able to do that?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you've made a mistake like at the cost of maybe 2,000 Rand for a 4-ball, it's insignificant in the bigger picture of things. If it's going to turn somebody from really going out and slamming the club and saying how useless they are, it's a small cost at the end of the day to try and recover.
I see Hadi says that complimentary drink while problem is sorted, voucher to come back and play another day. Okay, so there is something that they could do. Then I see I will stay 2 hours to wait. It's too long because it has been booked. And and if there are any other way to solve this approach for them, the voucher to play a free round on the next visit. Okay, so they can be compensated. So she should not have sent them away. Okay, all right, so I get it. So in what the experience that you have, if this has to happen, then you can give them something complimentary when they come back, or you can offer them a drink at the bar and then either wait. If not, then you can give them a voucher. All right. Thank you for that. Okay, so acknowledge the problem. Don't make any excuses. Show the customer you're listening. Apologize sincerely. Take responsibility if the issue wasn't directly your fault. Act quickly. The longer it takes to resolve, the harder it is to recover trust. Offer a solution. Provide a resolution. If possible, an extra gesture, a discount, or a free upgrade. Follow up and check in to ensure the customer is satisfied after the issue has been resolved. Okay. I'm not going to do this role play. We've done this with the previous one, so we can move on. My apologies for that. The time is running out, and I really want to do the others. Discover how to restore the customer's trust and loyalty. We will talk about empathy here. It's crucial to service recovery. It makes the customers feel heard and understood. Techniques for expressing empathy mirrors emotion, using empathetic language and validating the customer's feeling. Like, when a customer is complaining, I can't believe your service is always slow. The one thing you can do is say, I understand how frustrating that might be. In other words, I am empathizing with you. I feel you. You know what I mean? Words is important. So service recovery is about taking responsibility, acting quickly, and going above and beyond. A sincere apology and an effective resolution can help turn unhappy customers into loyal ones. Empathy is a powerful tool in restoring customer trust. I think when you empathize and they see that you understand them, they very quickly say, you know what, I trust that you will help resolve my issue. I asked a question here, what is the most important step in customer service recovery? I think, can I ask the question? And somebody could give me an answer. What do you think is the most important step in the customer service recovery? And you have some choices here. Acknowledging the issue, apologizing, offering a solution and following up. Do you think all of it is important or one of it is important? Apology and correct the SAP, all of them. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Alan and Paul. Mishka, thank you. Yes, absolutely. Okay, building member relationships. Adrian was talking to us before about this. It's the importance of building strong customer relationships. Key strategies to foster trust, loyalty, and engagement. Some practical techniques for customer retention. Let me get straight into it. Strong relationships increase customer loyalty, reduce the churn, and lead to more referrals. So, sometimes you think problems can be such a pain, but, customers go back and they will tell other people, you know what, if you have a problem, for sure they will resolve it, which means they will refer other customers to you. Customers who feel valued and connected are more likely to return. And the connection that you have is having these conversations with them, talking to them and, building this rapport with them, understanding, who they are, where they come from, sharing a little bit of, you don't have to share your personal life, but a little bit about yourself, how long you're in the industry. And these things actually make that connection with your customers. The difference between transactional versus relationship customer engagement. Transactional is when money is transacted for a service provided. The relationship is when we have this rapport with the customers, understanding them, knowing who they are. And so when they complain, it's very easy for us to resolve the issue. Can I ask a quick question? Can you think of a brand or business you're loyal to and why? Can you think of a brand that you are loyal to and why you are loyal to them? Anyone? Trying to see if somebody's written something for me in the chat. Woolies, great quality, good service. Yeah, Check a 60/60, easy and convenient, efficient. Thank you. So this basically comes back. If your brand is good, you're efficient, it doesn't mean that, you're problemless. But when you do have problems with 60/60 and Woolies, they immediately come to the front and they start down. So if you think of yourself as a brand, then yeah, people will come back because they know why. So some strategies to foster trust and loyalty and engagement: build trust through consistency in service and communication, builds trust over time. Keep your promises, deliver on what you say. Personalized interactions, address customers by name, remember their preferences, and tailor your offerings. Customers appreciate when they feel known and understood. Early on in the webinar, we spoke about that. Follow up and engage regularly. Even when a customer don't complain, always ask, did you enjoy your day? Did you enjoy the service? And follow-ups. Show customers you care beyond the initial scale. Use meaningful follow-ups and ask for feedback, offer support, and provide value, tips and how-to guides. Personalized engagement, regularly engage with customers through personalized communication, such as emails or special offers based on their purchase history and preferences. Customers appreciate when companies show that they are valued as individuals. Provide exceptional customer support. Promptly address any concerns or complaints, offering 24/7 customer service or a robust support system. I know the 24/7 is, it's a thing like overboard. I think, if a customer complains, try within the 24 hours or within the 24 hours of that the complaint. It creates a positive experience that encourages customers to stay loyal to your brand. Loyalty programs and incentives, implement a rewards or loyalty program. I think most clubs offer these loyalty programs as well that offer discounts, exclusive deals, or points of purchases. These incentives encourage repeat business by making customers feel rewarded for their continuous patronage. Some of the key takeaways for today is trust, personalization, and follow-up are the pillars of building strong customer relationship. Small efforts can lead to long-term loyalty and engagement. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for me so far?
Pauline, I feel like I said in the comments, with customers, go and talk to them after the experience of after having dinner and drinks with you. Ask them, is there any feedback? How was your meal? How was your dinner? Whatever, before a complaint comes, they can say to you, just like I have a few customers here that I've built a relationship with. If something's wrong, they'll call me one side or call me from the kitchen and say, listen, this happened. I want to make a scene about it, but just have a look into it before someone else complains. So if you can build that relationship, it helps.
Yes, proactive. So that's called proactive. Yes, that is proactive customer service and customer care, where you do the work before the time. And when there's an issue, they do come back and tell you in a very discreet way. And it takes a lot of hard work. This is Adrian speaking, right? Adrian, I can't see you. Is this you?
It's me.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I think, that building of that relationship is a lot of hard work in the beginning, but in the end, it does pay up. You're probably going to see that pay out now. Is that relationships that you've built, it's paying out now. You don't have that hair raising, hair pulling, issues with these customers or with the customers because you've done the initial work, you've done the groundwork. And so now when there's anything that comes up, they have a way of coming back to you in a certain manner to tell you there's a problem. But yeah, you've got to put in the groundwork. So that's called proactive customer care and customer service. Thank you for that, Adrian.
Pleasure.
Okay. Okay, and I think this is the last one. This is feedback and improvement. This is my last topic, and I know the Wakam is going to emotionally challenged. Lebakam, please, I apologize. I probably will go about 5 minutes over, but I'm going to get through this. Feedback and improvement. Feedback is important from your customers. As we said earlier, it's important. We will learn the importance of timely and clear and actionable feedback, understand how to make feedback more effective and impactful, and we will discover the techniques to enhance the communication with customers. So what is the importance of timely and clear and actionable feedback? So timeless builds trust. Providing feedback promptly shows that the customer's issue is a priority. So, don't wait 5 days down the line. And I know sometimes we can get exceptionally busy, but when a customer does come with a problem, give it at least a day and, try and respond within the first day or two. So they know that their problem is a priority. Delays can cause frustration, while quick responses reassures customers that their concerns are being addressed. Clarity reduces miscommunication. Be clear and straightforward in the feedback. Ensure that the customers fully understand the situation and the next steps. Avoid jargon and vague language, prevents confusion, leading to a smoother interaction and fewer follow-up questions. Actionable feedback enhances satisfaction. Feedback should guide the customers towards a resolution or improvement. By offering specific actions or solutions, customers will feel empowered and supported, which improves their overall experience and fosters loyalty to your business. Okay, so feedback will help manage your customers' expectations and improve their trust. Proper feedback can turn negative experiences into positive ones. And this can demonstrate that the company values the customer's opinions and experience. This thing that Adrian is talking about is that even when this customer does come to your side and say, just look into this. Adrian, I'm so sure you're going to tell me this, but I'm going to say it. I'm so sure you're going to go back to the customer and tell him what was your steps into looking into this. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes.
So you go back to these customers and tell them, you may not tell them all of the great details that you have done, but would you go back and say you have done X, Y, and Z?
Yes, because I think they expect me to find a solution and they would like to know what was the issue, and then they know that I didn't fall on deaf ears, that I did make a solution.
Yeah. So they want to hear the action, right? What did you do?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I think even with this, with having this relationship, building that trust with your customers, you still have to go back and say, I've looked into it. This was the issue, and this was the action I've taken.
Yeah, you have to keep that customer relationship going. You can't, because you've known that customer for a while, only focus on the new ones.
Yes. Thank you, Hardis. I see you need to go. Thank you so much. Guys, I know I'm going to be about 5 minutes over, so please bear with me. I'm almost done. Thank you, Adrian, for that. Yes, you have to. All customers, you have this good relationship with them. Just keep it going.
Also, I just want to mention something quickly. A lot of issues we have here are people that would say, oh, I know the CEO, I'm going to email him for this complaint and stuff. But I was told that even the CEO of our country club says, even if it's the CEO of APSA or it's the cleaner from Pick and Pay across the road, if he sits at the table, he's exactly the same customer as the CEO. And they must all be treated the same.
Yes, absolutely. So I do believe that the color of money is the same for everyone.
Yes. Okay.
So if you think of it like that, so we need to treat all the customers exactly with that level of respect. I am wondering what's going on with sorry, I don't know what is going on. Yeah. My apologies. Something is happening. Yeah. Yes, Adrian. So all our customers need to be treated this way. Lebogang, I don't know what happened here.
Yeah, because your screen is blank.
Yes, and I have one more section to go through. I'm sharing my screen. I'm actually sharing. Okay, active listening. No,
Okay,
why weren't there?
now we can see.
You can see it? Sorry,
Yes.
I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, Adrian, in the middle of my conversation with you.
No worries.
Yes, so yeah, it's so important that we understand the color of money is all the same, and all our customers need to be treated with that level of respect. Thank you for that. So technique number 1, be clear and direct. Provide feedback that is easy to understand, as I said. An ambiguous language. Be honest and tactful. Okay. Okay, I'm running out of time. So as I said, I'm not doing the activities. I am going to share this with you so you can actually, try and use this. If you are training anybody, you can't use my PowerPoint. Technique number 2, make it timely. Provide the feedback as soon as possible to avoid leaving customers in the dark. Delayed feedback can lead customers to, leaving customers in the dark. Delayed feedback can lead to frustration and erode trust. That can damage your trust with them. Personalize and empathize. Tailor the feedback to customer specific situation, showing that you understand their concerns. Use empathetic language to make customers feel valued. Okay, so the summary here is we need to be clear, we need to be timely, we have to have personalized feedback to build that customer trust. Make small adjustments in your feedback approach, which can significantly enhance your customer satisfaction. My last topic for today is emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is about being self-aware, having empathy, motivation, self-regulation, and social skills. So here we're going to talk about what is emotional intelligence and its relevance in customer interactions, the key components, EQ, and practice applying EQ to customer. So emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize and understand and manage your own emotions while recognizing and influencing the emotions of others. That's a lot. We are just human. And sometimes when people come at us when they're angry, we want to be. I think, we just need to take like a deep breath, take a step back, realize this is not about us. We should keep our emotions in check. And then when we do respond, we have an influence on the emotions of the person that's talking to us. And I think, that's the thing I can give you is that, sometimes hard pause. We just need to take a check on ourselves. Like, this is not about us. Tell yourself in your brain, this is not about you. Take a step back and just breathe and then listen, active listen. And then you can start, when you need to respond, you'll respond and not with emotion. You'll respond as a person who's giving the care and empathy to the other person. It is especially important in customer service because it improves empathy, communication, and conflict resolution. And IEQ, emotional intelligence, can lead to more satisfied, loyal customers because emotional needs are addressed alongside practical solutions. We cannot leave our emotions at home. Not one of us. But I think when we deal with other people, we deal with customers, dealing with colleagues, dealing with managers, dealing with supervisors, we need to have that level of maturity in keeping our emotions in check. It's not easy, but it comes with training. Okay, component number 1, self-awareness. Recognize your own emotions and understanding how they affect your interactions. Awareness helps control emotional reactions in stressful situations. And when our emotions show when we are most stressed. So if you can keep that, it's like a duck that is really trying to survive. Its legs are busy, swaddling under the water, but ducks look very peaceful, and swans as they glide through the water. If you can get that right, then you can actually really keep everything calm and collected. But it just comes with practice. It just does come with practice. Okay, so I'm not going to do the activity. Sorry about that. Number 2, self-regulation. The ability to control or redirect negative emotions and impulses staying calm under pressure, and allows for more constructive solutions. It's not actually easy to be calm when there's a lot that's going on. I think you just need to breathe. You need to count to like about 10. And I think, whatever is going on and whatever that is presented in front of you, I think you can think as you are listening, active listening, you can then decode whatever the person is saying, understand what they are saying, ask the questions, and then move forward. I take my hat out to people that can be in really stressful situations that is calm, cool, and collected. Component number 3, social awareness, which is empathy. The ability to understand customers' feelings and perspectives. It involves active listening and recognizing their emotional state to address their needs more effectively. Empathy is like almost identifying with what the other person feels. I'll give you a great example. When people pass on, you will never know how they feel until you've had a personal experience. And I always use this as an example because you'll never know the depth of that person's sadness unless you go through that. And the same with dealing with customers. You would not, and I know that we all haven't been through the problems that our customers have been through or the complaints that they bring forward to you. But I think if you can step in their shoes sometimes and then, actually step in their shoes and feel what they are feeling, this is the empathy that we are talking about. It's like almost feeling what they are feeling and then responding to that. Component number 4, relationship management building and maintaining positive customer relationships by using communication skills, conflict resolution, and understanding emotional needs. So what emotionally intelligent enhances your communication, reduces conflict, and strengthens your customer relationship. Mastering your self-awareness, regulations, empathy, and relationship management help you to handle customer interactions with more ease and success. Let me see the time. Okay, I'm 5 minutes over. Does anybody have any questions for me? Anyone? I know I did a lot today. I had to cover quite a few on this webinar. It's quite a deep topic about how to care for your customers and how to deal with angry, complaints and people that are frustrated. But I'm hoping that I've left something with you. So if anybody's got any questions, please ask. Any comments?
Pauline, I don't know if this is gonna. Sorry,
Yeah.
you
No,
go first.
yes. No, Adrian, you can go first. I thought there was no one.
Pauline, I feel with this whole training we've had, I think it starts with your staff. If your staff feel they work in a family environment and they feel they want to come to work, they will treat the customers the same, and they will want the customers to come back and give them the perfect and the right, what's the word I'm looking for, treatment that they get from management and from everyone else. I know that, I think that's what I want to say.
Yeah. And that really comes from the management. I think, I think your environment, we spend a lot of time in this environment, 9 to 12 hours a day. And I think that environment, your staff, as I said in the beginning, your staff they are critical to your success. They are the golden, they are the people that, make things work for you. So if you invest in them, they are the ones that are going to go out there confidently, investing in training and upskilling them going forward, as you say, they are the ones that's going to stand in front, and you will get less from that. And helping them to you have a great skill. I've come across, the thing you talk about, having this ability to go and have this relationship with customers. If you can teach that or impart that to your staff, I can tell you now, it'll be such a pleasant environment to work in. But you are right. I think your environment is important. The environment that you create for yourself is important, because in the end, it's a team. We help each other. You know, there's no I in a team. And if it's an environment that's pleasant to work in, it's a never a day of work. It'll just be a day
exactly.
of work, you know, and doing the best that we can and providing the best service ever. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, everybody. I thoroughly enjoyed this. This is my last webinar with you. I think you have others, but I'm the last one. I'm doing the last one now. I truly appreciate. I see a lot of returns. Thank you for that. Thank you for engaging. I truly appreciate that.
Okay, thank you, Pauline.
I will share my webinar with you. But yeah, any questions, please ask. But if you have nothing, thank you from my side.
Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pauline, for delivering such an insightful webinar. We are confident that your expertise will help us elevate our customer care standards. Thank you once again for sharing your knowledge and helping us excel in this critical area. To everyone online, thank you for your active participation. Apologies that we ran over, but thank you so much. I believe that we've learned so much, and then we'll apply, the lessons to our clubs. A reminder to please complete the register and feedback before you exit the meeting. And thank you once again, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. See you next year.
Bye. See you next year. Bye.